Hey everyone, this is Christopher Donnell, and it's Monday morning, meaning it's time for another Motivational Monday. And today we want to motivate you around the idea of what do you do when life is disrupted. Pastor Jim kicked off our new Advent series this past Sunday on hope. An expectant leap, and specifically hope in disruptions. What do we do when we have disruptions in our life? How do we have hope? If you didn't know, my family's life has been really disrupted lately. It's been a couple weeks of quarantine for us, trying to stay here and keep the sickness that we had from COVID here in our house and not spread it to our friends and loved ones. And in that quarantine, it's been rough. It's been tough. We've run out of things to do certain days. It's over now, but we did run out of certain things to do certain days. We got on each other's nerves. I felt like the walls were closing in at times. It was a tough couple weeks, and we had made plans to go see friends and family for Thanksgiving, and we had plans to do things on Thanksgiving evening with my family to help them decorate for Christmas, and all that got disrupted when we had to quarantine. And that's a hard thing when you make plans and all of a sudden you have to shift them and change them. And as Pastor Jim said this past Sunday, he reminded us of those who have gone through some tough transitions and disruptions in their life, like the prisoners at Auschwitz during the Holocaust. And this quote that one of them said was, "We know that it is possible to live for 3 weeks without food, but without hope, it is impossible to live properly for 3 minutes." Now, that is so true. It'd be really easy to get frustrated with being at your home for 2 weeks and not being able to go to Kroger or go to church or see your friends at Thanksgiving. It's really easy. But to know that that's a temporary setback for something that is really important to keep people safe during this time, that's not a big deal. But if we didn't have hope during those 2 weeks of this wouldn't end, or we don't have a God who loves us and cares for us in the process, that would be demoralizing. We would be distraught. It would be terrible. So my question to you is the same one that Pastor Jim asked us on Sunday. What do you do when disruptions come your way? Again, when we found out the news that we were stuck at our home for 2 weeks, I was bummed. I was very sad to miss family stuff. But then if you know me, I'm a doer, I'm a goer. I love going places, and I actually hate being constrained to one spot. Even if it's with the people I love most, I love that freedom of going. And so it was some days torture for me to sit here in one space in one place. And so it was really easy for me to get negative, to be just down and out, angry, grumpy, and then that attitude reflects onto the rest of the family. So it's just a recipe for disaster. So I don't know about you, but that's typically when I'm disrupted, I get grumpy and I get upset, and you kind of throw a fit, if you will. So I don't know about you. I don't know how you respond when disruptions come, but that's how I do it. And how we respond matters. And there are plenty of times when we had a plan and it doesn't happen. It's really easy to get frustrated, but it's another thing to say, hold on, wait, maybe there's another angle here. Maybe there's another option. And as Pastor Jim said on Sunday, maybe there's a plan B to your plan A. And so the other question we have for you is, what if in that disruption, God has something extraordinary for you? I mean, for us, there were plenty of days where we were just bored out of our mind here, and we did well just to not fight with each other, and the kids not fight with each other and not annoy each other. But then there were these really awesome, beautiful moments that we would never have had if we didn't have this time together. I mean, Becca and I stayed up one night till 1 o'clock in the morning playing rummy. And the night before, I got to beat everybody playing Mario Kart on the Switch. And we played board games, and we did puzzles, and I did crafts. Yeah, we sang Christmas songs, and we decorated for Christmas, and all these special moments that were just for us. And those wouldn't have happened if we weren't in that quarantine together. And so that was a disruption that ended up being really good for us. And it's what you can allow God to make of it through you is when we surrender our ideas, surrender our projections on what we want something to do or look like. Because at the end of the day, we all have an agenda and we want it to happen. But that's not always the case. And sometimes our agendas just get disrupted, not meaning to spiritualize it or not. Sometimes they just get disrupted. But when we are disrupted, maybe we can think about this verse. 2 Corinthians 4:17 through 18. This is the New Living Translation. For our very present troubles are small and won't last long. Yet they produce for us a glory that vastly outweighs them and will last forever. So the things that are a problem are temporary, but the things that matter will last forever. So we don't look at the troubles we can see now. Rather, we fix and gaze our eyes and gaze on the things that cannot be seen. Jesus, our hope. For the things we can see now will be gone, but the things we cannot see will last forever. Again, that's Christ's hope for us, and that's the hope we have at the beginning of this Advent season, is we don't always see the big picture. And sometimes when we have a picture, it gets rearranged, it gets disrupted. So what do? We fix our eyes on Jesus. We fix our eyes on that hope, that expectant leap towards the goodness of God. Because even in our disruptions, there could be an amazing opportunity for God to work. That's what happened to us this past couple weeks. And so we ask you this week, look for those disruptions, and maybe they're holy disruptions that are actually a beautiful moment for you to connect with God and others and His creation. So go this week knowing that there may be a disruption around the corner, but it's also an opportunity for God to move in your life. We love you, we are praying for you, and we can't wait to see you next week.